Thank you, sir. Mr. Paul, you're recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I see that there's been two driving forces pushing this Enron story. One, I think, has been the politics of it. I find that unfortunate and wish that the politics would be a lot less involved than the issue itself. But the other driving force is the attack on capitalism, which I think is misplaced. And it is driven by those who would like to have a lot more regulations and use this as an example of the failure of capitalism. And I see it exactly the opposite. This is an example of the failure of corporatism. We have large corporations who buy influence, but they come up here to get subsidies, corporate welfare. This company had $1.6 billion worth of corporate welfare from the Ex-Im Bank and the Overseas Private Investment Corporation. That's where I see the problem. Also, we have, as a banking committee, a responsibility for our monetary system, and yet we do very little to monitor the excessive easy credit system that we have that allows banks to make billions of dollars worth of credit that are uncollateralized, and that can only happen in a funny money, fiat paper money system, and I think we ought to look at that more carefully someday. And of course, we've been talking a lot about the accounting, and I think the accounting is a very serious problem. You know, the idea of creating debt and calling an asset, this is outrageous. That's almost like what Social Security does. What we do here, it looks like they've learned some of their lessons from us. So I find this rather tragic to attack capitalism on this issue. We should not think this is the reason for more regulation. In a free market, when the market fails, the market takes care of these companies. But what did we do with long-term capital management? We bailed them out and sent the wrong message. No wonder we've encouraged companies like this, and there are a lot more around. Fraud, you say we have to do this investigation for fraud? Sure, we'd like to know about it, but that's never been the prime responsibility of the federal government. That's traditionally been a state issue. So in many ways we are connected, but I would like to see us address the subject where we are directly related when we subsidize corporations like this and we create them with a monetary system that is illogical, and will create a lot more companies like this, as we have seen with the financial bubble.
Thank you, Mr. Paul.